Hold up, y'all. It's been a long time since our last meta video. So I'm back. I had to take a break. I was not feeling like myself. So yeah. I'm back. And I will be posting more videos. And I will be streaming more nowadays. So stay tuned. And by the way, Speed Gang, bro. Speed Gang, the merch came. Speed Gangs. Yo, turn him up, bro. Turn me up, turn me up, turn me up. We're gonna watch, so, since I've, took the break, there's been a lot of things going on, I see. Amber Heard. I've seen this video though, but, not properly. I'm gonna watch this one this time. But yeah, Amber Heard has spoken. Isn't this crazy? Do you guys believe she's lying? Do you guys think she's gonna lie? Or actually, is she speaking the truth? Personally, I think she's lying, because what she says is just absurd. And it's fucked up. So, let's just watch this. There you go.
Become intense, it almost started that way. When I was with him, you know, I felt that electricity in my body. I felt like butterflies. I couldn't see straight. Practically, it was just, you know, I was head over heels in love, and he felt like that to me. He felt like he was also in love. I didn't feel like he was faking it. I felt like what we had. It felt like to me at the time there wasn't any love like that. You know, I mean, and then he started to kind of do this thing again where he'd disappear and he'd come back. And I remember when he first started drinking, I didn't really think much of it, but all of a sudden the behavior kind of started to go in line with the disappearing, and he'd come back and he'd just be different. And I'd say something and he'd accuse me of saying something else or saying it in a different way, or he would, it was mostly my clothing at the time and me working. That was the main thing. Like, I found myself trying to not
embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
It would change the mood so dramatically. I tried to, you know, he would make these comments about, you know, myself out, but do so in the context of me acting, you know, and he would talk about other actresses who do my role in this way where they were worthless whores, that they were, you know, fame hungry,
boring,
expletive, you know, just this. The point is, it felt really dirty.
Really dirty.
An actor.
Never
mind that he was one. It was more. It was dirty that I wanted to do this job that I wanted to do when I was doing the job of an actress. It was everything. Every time I was walking out of the house, he would ask me, "That's really what you're wearing, kid?" Oh, I see. You know, I wore a dress to an event once, and I felt beautiful in it. Like, stupid as that sounds, I felt pretty in this dress I picked out, and I showed it him because you know, it's a carpet, it's red carpet, so it's like, you know, publicized, and I kind of thought it was weird he wasn't saying anything about it. You know, I left him to go do this red carpet, and I was like, "Did you see the you know, the event I went to?" You know, basically, I felt pretty, and I thought, like, "Did you see that?" You know, I wanted him to say something about that, I guess. And he said, this is after he stopped talking to me for some time, didn't tell me why. When he came back in my life, he wouldn't explain why he was acting different. He just kind of acted mad at me, didn't know what I had done wrong. And when I brought up the dress and the event, because it was an event to support a charity I was really involved with at the time, and I said, you know, "Did you see that thing?" And he said, yeah, I think the whole world saw that, kid. That's how they'll remember you. That's how the world will remember you. And I was like, oh, come on. I mean, it's like, but it, you know, I felt good in it. I felt good. And he said, yeah, kid, that's what you're putting out there in the world. No one will ever forget that. And that's all they'll see you as. That's what you wanted. That's what you were going for. You know,
what's wrong with saying that?
Slow cut.
Honesty is the best thing to do. To give people honesty. He's being honest. He's doing you a favor.
I started to believe that made a lot of sense, of course. But it didn't stop with that. It was clothing in general. And when I walked out of the house, it wasn't just like, hey, you're not allowed to wear it.
Oh
It was
my
like,
fucking god, this
Oh,
woman
really?
right here.
that's what you're wearing. No wonder you get cast in those roles. No wonder you that's what you are. That's what you're making it. And it continued. And then there would be a blow up. And at first it was just to throw something, smash some things. It loves to smash up a place, an apartment, furniture. That's what it started with. Glass. Threw glass at me and
Do you have proof?
summer.
No.
And he just
But there's proof of you. There's proof of you hitting him. There's proof that you shat on his bed. You left feral. You left fucking feral on his bed. Human. You act like a dog. You act like a baby.
this glass across the kitchen, and it didn't hit me, but it shattered behind me, and I remember thinking that it like very easily could have hit me, and that calling me a horror. It didn't start with using the horror word. It was just comments until it would escalate, and then I started to notice the pattern of escalation where he'd throw glass or turn over a table. Then he would hit the wall, and then he'd hit the wall really close to my head. You know, like when I'm standing there, just hit the wall, screaming at me. Then he would disappear and get clean and sober, and he'd come back and tell me that he was done drinking, he was over it, he was done, he'd cleaned himself up, he'd done it
This woman
before,
right
he'd do it
here
again. And
should
then he'd
die.
go back to this like wonderful, like,
In GTA 5.
almost like just unreal,
RP.
like but real, but unbelievably sensitive,
This-
kind, warm, generous,
Lies. Stop with the lies.
man that I
What-
loved.
What you're trying to convince yourself that it's
Made me
true.
feel so
The judge
loved.
knows it's not
I
true.
would feel so distant from that thing that was so scary that I would
She just have
not even recognize it too.
to listen
that
to
was-
you. She has to listen to you. That's the only thing.
really
But she knows you're
started
lying.
to develop enough for
Do you remember the first time that he physically hit you?
yes.
Please tell the jury about it.
You don't remember at all. You're just trying to
Insignificant.
say something random.
I will never forget it. It changed my life. I was
So one hit changed your life.
sitting on the couch, and we were talking. We were having a normal conversation.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, that's normal.
there was no fighting, no
Yeah, no
argument,
fighting. Yeah, no
nothing.
argument.
And
That's normal.
he was drinking, and
It's drinking.
I
Okay.
didn't realize at the time, but I think he was using cocaine because it was like there was a jar of cocaine out on the table. I
Uh-huh.
realize that sounds weird.
And where's the proof?
An actual vintage jar of it.
They're laughing since it's so
But
funny.
I
It's
didn't
not
see the
true.
news at the time, so I didn't really factor that in. I just, he's drinking and we're talking, and there's music playing, and he's smoking cigarettes, and
Okay,
we're
that's
sitting
okay.
next to each other on the couch.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I asked him about the tattoo he has on his arm, and
Okay.
to me, it just looked like black marks. I didn't know what it said. It just looked like muddled, faded tattoo that was hard to read. And I said, "What does it say?" And he said it says wino. It says wino, and I didn't see that. I thought he was joking because it didn't look like it said that at all, and I laughed. It was that simple.
You laughed.
I just laughed because I thought he was joking, and slapped me across the face.
Oh, all of a sudden just
And I
slapped you?
I laughed because I didn't know what else to do. I thought, this must be a joke. This must be a joke. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay, she just...
Just stared at, kind of laughing still, thinking that he was going to start laughing too to tell me it was a joke. But he didn't. He said, "You think it's so funny? You think it's funny, bitch?" Like, it was clear it wasn't a joke anymore. And I stopped laughing, but I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to do. you would think you would have a response, but I, as a woman, had never been like that. I'm an adult, and I'm sitting next to the man I love, and he slapped me for no reason, it seemed like, and I missed the point. It was that stupid. Second slap, I know he's not kidding, but I don't know what else to say or do, so I just stared at him. I didn't say anything.
You're not even convincing yourself it's
I
true.
didn't move or freak out or defend myself or say, what are you doing?
This is literally me when I am too late for the class and I'm trying to convince the teacher that fucking my fish jumped off the tank and went to the shop and bought some milk.
You're crazy. I just stared at him because I didn't know what else to do. And he slapped me one more time. Hard.
Probably. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say it.
I lose my balance. At this point, we're sitting next to each other
I'll clap you in 1v1 Fortnite, bitch.
on the edge of the couch, or I was on the edge of the couch. And I'm all of a sudden realizing that the worst thing has just happened to me that could possibly happen to you. I realize that I wish so much he had said he was joking. Because it didn't hurt. It didn't physically hurt me. I was just sitting there on this carpet, looking at the dirty carpet, wondering how I wound up on this carpet and why I never noticed that the carpet was so filthy before, and I just didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to react. I just sat there thinking, how much time do I have till I figure out what I need to do? Because, God, did he just hit me? No, I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want this to be the reality. I didn't want to have the man I was in love with. I know you don't come.
This is literally just acting, guys. Don't worry.
I know you can't hit a woman. You can't hit a man. You can't.
Just
hit
acting.
anyone. You can't just hit somebody because they. I knew there was no. I knew it was wrong, and I knew that I had to leave him. And that's what broke my heart, because I didn't want to leave him. I thought if I got up out of that room, I would leave the best thing that ever happened to me. And I wish I could sit here and say I stood up and I walked out of that house and I drew a line and I stood up for myself. I was just looking at the dirty carpet trying to will myself to get up.
Oh, don't breathe into the mic.
Out of the door because I knew I needed to.
You know you needed
I
to.
really slowly.
Really slowly.
I stood up and I remember
Stood up.
looking at him.
I remember looking at him in
and
the
just
eye.
looking at him.
And just looking
because I
at
didn't
him.
know what else to do.
Yeah.
And before I know it, he starts crying. And you know, like I
Of course I would cry. You're a fucking abusive woman.
never seen an adult man cry. I didn't even really see my dad cry at my grandma's funeral. You know, it's weird. And he's crying. Tears, I mean, just falling out of his eyes. He gets down on his knees and he grabs my hands and he's touching my hands and he's saying to me, I will never do that again. I'm so sorry, baby. I put the away. I thought I killed it and it's done. I thought I put the monster away and I've done it before. It's done. But on his knees. And I didn't have words. I didn't know what to say. I just remember thinking that it was just, he was crying. He seemed so sorry, but I knew I couldn't just forgive him.
And that's when you punched
That
him.
means it will happen again, no? You know, like I've seen the health class videos. And I got up in my car. I walked to the car. I didn't say anything. I made a point to not say, oh, it's okay, or anything like that. I just didn't say anything. I went to the car. I sat in my car, and I felt like I sat there forever. I didn't want to turn the key. I just leaned my head up against the window.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
Just
Your lies are absurd.
On the windshield, you know, on the glass of the window of the door, just seeing my breath,
seeing
and
your
trying
breath, trying
to will myself,
to will yourself to
have the strength
okay,
to know what
to
I
know
should do
what
in
you
this
should do
moment,
in this
because
moment.
I was
He was
Heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
And
So heartbroken that you shat on his bed.
turned the key and drove home.
Thank you guys so much for watching. This was just absurd to listen to, and I'm out.